Today we're gonna be ranking the Elder Scrolls races from my least favourite to my favourite. And this is in a tier list setting. It's in a tier list setting because I don't want to exactly put someone last, but I might have to. I might do an actual ranking sometime, but for the time being, I'm gonna pussy out, chicken out, like a rat, and we're doing a tier list. So, I love the Elder Scrolls, one of my favourite franchises of all time, if not my absolute favourite. And I love all the races in them. They all have something unique to them, but there are ones I like more than others. You know, people have preferences. This is just mine. So 100% fucking biased, this list. So before I start, before I trigger everyone, tell me yours in the comments below. What's your favourite Elder Scrolls race, and who do you hate? So there is no F on this list, as you can see. There's no F, because I don't think any of them are shit. But we're going to go from D to S. D being not my favourite, S being the kings of the castle. There's going to be 2 in each category. The 2 in D, we're starting with Orc. Now, my friends will be pissed off if he watches this, because that's his favourite. But in every role-playing game, in every fantasy game, there's always Orcs, and I've never been a fan of them. Like Warhammer, even in Lord of the Rings and stuff, they're never my favourite. They're never my favourite. And just like in Elder Scrolls, it's not my favourite. They all worship Malakath, the god of the spurned, and they all kind of strive for strength. That's all they value. They value strength above all else. And they have the little camps around the place. It's because their homeland keeps getting fucking destroyed. Orsinium keeps getting fucking destroyed and raided. No one likes them. They just keep attacking everyone, like orcs raiding parties and stuff. So it makes sense why people don't like them. But they're still an interesting race and have rich history, and Orsinium is just an interesting place in itself. So even though it's coming in last, pretty much, I still love them. So yeah, D tier. Joining them may be controversial, Bosmer. Bosmer's coming in last as well, the Wood Elves. Every game has a fucking annoying Wood Elf, and it's put them down a step for me. You know, you got the annoying fan in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. By Azura, it's the Grand Champion. You know, fuck off. There's so many videos of people just shooting him off a cliff for good reason. He's annoying. But it's not just him. You got Morrowind with Fargoth. As soon as you enter Seyda-Neen, he's just there asking for his fucking ring. You're like, I just got this magic ring and you want it straight away? Nah, fuck off. Fuck off. Nah, fuck off, Fargoth. And then you have the fucking Bosmer in Mournhold, who keeps asking you for money, getting the money off you, and then he keeps upgrading the money. It's like, I need more money, And if you refuse him, if you goddamn refuse him, he comes back with the best armor in the game, ebony armor, and he has so many resistances. It's ridiculous. It's the hardest fight in Morrowind. It's one of the hardest fights in Morrowind, and you could do it without even knowing. You just say, no, I don't want to pay, and he comes and just kicks your fucking ass. Wood Elves, man. Fucking Wood Elves. Moving on to C, we have Breton. I like playing as the Bretons because they have really good abilities. Especially in Elder Scrolls Online, Bretons are amazing. And in the games, if you want to be a necromancer, Bretons are amazing. Bretons are amazing at magic. It's just, as a race, the Homeland High Rock isn't that interesting. You know, I hope the Elder Scrolls 6 isn't in High Rock. Because I've been to High Rock in Elder Scrolls Online, and it's just castles, it's just England. I live there already. You know, I don't want to see more England. Hammerfell's way better, in my opinion. But, yeah, the land is not that interesting, and the laws, it's pretty cool, but they are kind of like the mongrel race, the mix between mer and men. And they're not quite as good as either. They're in that middle awkward point. Not quite as good as men, not quite as good as elves. In the fucking middle. So, it's going to go here in the middle of the list. Joining it is Redguard. I love Redguards. They're probably the best warrior on this list. You know, aside from Nords, they're probably the best warrior on this list with the Adrenaline Rush ability. And the Homeland's one of the most interesting, so I hope we go there. The desert, the Alakir Desert, all the structures, the cool weapons, Scimitar. All the cool stuff. They have the lore, the Dragon Guard. Everything about Redguards are cool. It's just, there's better races. That's all I can say. You know, there's better, more interesting races than Red Guards. Red Guards and Bretons are just kind of middle of the road, like, they're pretty cool. You know, they're not the best. They're pretty cool, so they're going to go in the middle of the list, I'm afraid. Moving into B tier, we have Khajiit, the Catfolk. Very interesting race, very cool race. You know, they love their skooma, and that's probably one of the downsides. That's why it's in B, not A or S. Because they're great at being thieves. They're great at doing nothing. And they worship the Altmas, and they worship the moon. They're a bit of just like a dumbass race. This is going to piss my other friend off who likes them. I love Khajiit. You know, I played Khajiit the very first time I played Skyrim, I think. It was amazing. But, come on, as a race, if I was ranking them as, like, the most powerful... If you had to delete one race from the game to make the least amount of impact in the world, I think Khajiit would be the one to do. Or Orc. Khajiit or Orcs. Because Orcs don't really have a homeland and stuff. So yeah, probably Orc actually, now I'm thinking about it. But the second would be Khajiit. Because all they do is steal and get high and look at the moon. They're not even allowed in cities in Skyrim because they're just criminals. It's pretty much what it is. But I still love them. They're still fun. So yeah, go in here. Next to it, Imperials. Stop right there! The Imperials are just fantastic, kind of like Roman legionaries. I love the armour. I love the dragon crest on the shields. I love Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So I always played an Imperial on that, and I adore it. Kind of just middle of the road, though. They are like one of the main factors in Skyrim, the Imperials versus the Nords. But, yeah, they're just kind of average. They're an average race. Not too special, but I think they're interesting because I love Romans. It's probably my favourite period in human history. Love Colosseums, love all that shit. So the arena in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, all the guards from Elder Scrolls Oblivion, come on. Imperial has to make it a bit higher because of Oblivion, basically. They made me love them. Before that, I was like, nah. But now, after Oblivion, yeah, Imperials are fucking cool. A tier, people are going to be pissed off. Altmas. Altmas is A for Altmas. They're just interesting. You know, you hate them all they want. The Falmor are the dickheads, not the Altmas as a whole. But they have like a superior kind of attitude. They're really well dressed as well. They're the best at magic. They're one of the strongest races in the entire game. Somerset Isle is amazing. If you played the Elder Scrolls Online DLC, the Somerset Isle one is the best in my opinion. I fucking adored that storyline. Adored it. Like, oh, it's so good. The Altmas are very interesting. They're cool to hate. They're kind of like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Very interesting, very cool to hate. Powerful as hell, don't underestimate them. And they're a big antagonist kind of factor in Skyrim. And not all of them, just the Falmor though. You know, because there's some bad apples in every race. And that's the bad apples in that race. But, you know, Altmas, if I'm going to play Magic, I'll pick Altmas. I'll probably pick Altmas. Next to them is Argonian. Argonian for A. Almost had this S. Really wanted to. Then I was like, nah. I'll put one more in S. Argonians are the best beast race. One of the most interesting and unique races in the entire game. When you see them like working at the fishing docks and just around the places, you don't think much of them. But if you get them at Black Marsh, they will destroy you. They're kind of like Vietnamese. The Americans invaded. And they were just hiding in the trees. You don't want to go to Black Marsh. They will mess you up, man. And when the Oblivion Crisis happened, and the Argonians, the history told the Argonians what was going to happen before it happened, and the Argonians waited for the gates to open, stormed the Daedra. The Daedra were like, fuck, I can't deal with the Argonians. Ran into the Daedric gates, and then they took their opportunity to attack Morrowind and killed all the... and like took over loads of Morrowind, because... you know, the Dunmer were using them as slaves. So I think that story's amazing. Like, they are powerful and very, very old, same as Khajiit, but they're more here than Khajiit, in my opinion. So I prefer them a bit more. And they're great in battle. The Shadow Scales, the assassins that they have was interesting. All the lore the Bastards have done. Black Marsh as a whole is my favourite area in the entire game. So... yeah, very cool, very interesting race, A tier. So that brings it to the best of the best, and you know what two's left? So first up, Nord. Everyone loves Nord. Everyone loves Nord, but when I was playing Morrowind back in the day, I always used to play Nord because I love the two-handed axe. And when I saw that naked Nord with Cloud Cleaver, I was like, I want to be like him. He was tricked by a witch, sure, bit dumb, sure, but just running around, just in the briefs with a magical axe. He's like, I want to kill that bitch. Yeah, when you see all the naked Nords in Morrowind, it's like, yeah, this is great. Nords are amazing. The Nords in Morrowind are amazing. The Nords, like, in every game are amazing. They're a bit dim, but they're fucking strong. They have the ancestors. They have the strength, and they won't back down from a fight. Strong Nordic and proud. Love it. But they're not my favourite. They are S tier, but they're not my favourite. My favourite race is the Dunmer. The Dunmer of Morrowind. Why they're my favourite race? Well, I played Morrowind first, so, even though I picked Nord first, Dunmer are my favourite race, just because of the rich culture, You got the Dunmer are great houses, Telvanni, Redoran, Halalu, who all have the different principles and different goals, all trying to backstab each other, vying for power, which is, politics in the game. Then you have, the story of Dagoth and the Tribunal, where they have their own kind of set of demigods, who basically said, fuck the other gods, we're the gods now, and they did loads of great shit for the nation, but then people started to understand that, maybe they aren't the greatest gods. And that's a story for another day. That's a lore story. You have multiple different vampire clans. You even go back to Morrowind in Elder Scrolls Online, which was fucking amazing. Love doing that. Love all the cities, love the race, just love everything about them. Everything about them. They are the best, in my eyes. Dunmer are the kings of the castle. So hopefully you enjoyed my tier ranking for the Elder Scrolls races. Let me know your favourites down below, and we'll see you again on another video.